Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, but we are more so specifically talking about what's terrifying. And it's really like happening right now. What we have been watching lately is one big massive show playing out perfectly to usher in the next stage of what's happening, and it's terrifying. So this is from the IMF. So we do see the failures of crypto issuers, exchanges, and even hedge funds have added impetus to the push to regulate these digital assets. You know what's crazy about this is that they say that's the failures of everything within crypto. FTX, mind you, FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried was meeting with Gary Gensler. He was meeting with him, talking to him, and there was no red flags. This is a massive ball drop on the SEC side. They have failed miserably, and now they are trying to make the entire crypto market pay. Now with this, we do see over here another SEC regulation by enforcement success story. This is from Stuart Alderoty. This is talking about BlockFi. Months after a $100 million BlockFi/SEC deal, BlockFi in bankruptcy, $275 million loan outstanding to FTX from BlockFi, unknown amounts owed to BlockFi from FTX, nothing ever registered, fines paid, with whose money consumers decimated. And if you guys did miss it, yes, BlockFi just filed Chapter 11, and you can see the full-on breakdown over here. Why are we talking about this? Well, a lot of people are questioning the SEC's role here. A lot of people believe that it's Gary Gensler. In fact, Thinking Crypto 1 posted this. Funny how Gary Gensler has been so quiet since the FTX collapse. What's the matter, Gary? Why aren't you doing your media tour like you did for Kim Kardashian? Gary has again failed to protect investors. He's just an opportunist looking to get the treasury job. In my opinion, this is all one big massive plan. Digital Assets Daily over on Twitter, posted this clip from Fox News. Now, I wouldn't necessarily like to utilize media videos, but this one really kind of spoke volume. So we do see they're using the collapse of FTX to their own advantage to push for something called central bank digital currencies, CBDC. Listen closely.
Financial scam in history, and you have to wonder, how was this allowed? So the head of the company was all over the media, and in a number of interviews, he was wearing shorts and playing video games. Why did nobody notice? And where were the regulators? Where was Gary Gensler? Well, they were apparently giving this guy a pass because they knew him or they agreed with his politics. So they're not being punished for what they allowed to happen. Thousands of people defrauded out of their life savings. Instead, they're using the collapse of FTX to their own advantage to push for something called central bank digital currency, CBDC.
Now, this is the focus point, right? CBDCs. FTX was just one big show for regulators. It was a facilitated scam on the inside of these government agencies so that they could push for strict regulations to control DLT, control crypto, control the crypto processes, the systems, the technology to their own advantage to build out a CBDC infrastructure and utilize CBDCs, that's right, to control you and me. And this is happening. In fact, over in China, there's a lot of things happening rapidly. We do see here a city over in China. If Chinese government remotely switches your health passport to code yellow, you will become homeless because with yellow code on your phone, you can't go back to your apartment. Stay at a hotel, take any public transport, trouble to get food as well. Everything fully blocked off. This is from Wall Street Silver. They posted it's a 13-second long video. And look at this. This is what is happening over in China right now. Individuals homeless. And this is because of your health passport. This is crazy. We do see over here from Wolsned. This is what digital ID and social credit brings you when your QR code goes red. Again, over in China. Look at this. And this is happening right now. Everything that is happening around digital IDs, CBDCs, this is what's to come. This is the future. You got to remember that China usually kind of lags behind the US. You know, when we look at what China's doing, everything that they do, everything, you know, that is happening over there starts to bleed over into the US in time. So this is concerning to me. This is very, very scary. And another video was posted as well by James Melville over on Twitter. The original poster was Ginger Jim. We do see, here's a personal account of how digital ID / central bank digital currency / social credit systems operate in China. Central banks and governments are nudging us towards this. We cannot let this happen. Wake up before it's too late.
If you go to China, they're piloting it a few years ago in Shenzhen. So I lived overseas. If you go to Shenzhen, back in 2017, they already had facial recognition cameras there. So if you jaywalked in Shenzhen, they would immediately detect that and send you a notification, and they would deduct money from your what they call WeChat account. They use two main apps, WeChat and Alipay. So you can actually deduct your money directly from your account. This is 4 years ago, so this is not like some sort of conspiracy theory. It's not something that's going to happen 10 years into the future. This happened pre-corona in China. And so this system in China that exists is extremely advanced. They can detect if it's a man or a woman. They can guess your age. They can detect what kind of car model it is, who the manufacturer is. This is a sort of technology that we see in all these dystopian sort of films and whatever. And people keep putting it off and thinking that this is something that's going to happen later in my kid's lifetime or my grandkids. It's already here. And if this gets implemented anywhere, especially in a Western nation, it's not going away. Israel is already talking about the fourth shot. Then they're going to be going to herpes, and they're going to ask if you're gay. They're going to be asking if you ate 3 pizzas this week because it's unhealthy. If you buy certain books in certain countries, your country doesn't like you. You'll lose points in the social credit score system. So this is already the reality of the world in certain places, and we need to be aware of that if we don't want that or if we do. And to be perfectly honest, anybody who wants this vaccine passport, it's a misnomer. It's total control. Everything you do or don't do will be calculated to the point where if they can detect your GPS signal, if you have a phone on you, they can detect who you're hanging out with. Oh, you're hanging out with somebody that said something bad 9 years ago on Weibo, okay, like a Chinese equivalent to Facebook or something like that, right? Oh, you lose 2 points. Oh, you bought Japanese books, you lose 5 points because you don't like Japan. This is what is going to come here because it's already there.
And we're doing that a little bit with contact tracing for COVID, aren't we? So that they can see where you're at and who you're with.
The simple reality is that the technology that CSIS has and all these big tech corporations, they already know where you are. It's just that they don't want to shock the system too much and admit that they have it. Edward Snowden revealed all this back in 2013. He fled to Hong Kong. They wouldn't keep him there, so now he's in Russia.
Yeah.
But the NSA has all of your information. They know your Google searches from like February 9th, 2004 in a bunker in Colorado.
Help me, Rhonda.
Right? They have all this information. So, but they don't, like in the US, they have the Fourth Amendment. They're not supposed to track you forever, right? So they pretend they don't have it, but they do.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening. I mean, over in China, like everything that they have technology-wise, you know, this is the truth. Like, this is extremely scary, and all of these major central banks are already starting it. You see it over in you know, the UK. Central bank digital currencies are not a conspiracy theory. They are an agenda openly discussed and piloted by many governments around the world. I mean, this is what's happening. You still think that central bank banking digital currencies are somehow just a conspiracy theory? Watch this speech by the IMF Deputy Managing Director and former People's Bank of China Deputy Governor. And by the way, if anybody didn't watch these videos, I highly suggest you go check out this thread. Here you guys have central bank digital currencies, country by country. It is all starting. They are moving towards this extremely fast. This is not some, you know, fear-mongering conspiracy theory. This isn't, you know, oh yeah, it might be a possibility. It's already happening. All of this is already happening. And you know what's funny? Everyone's distracted. They don't even realize it. They don't even understand what's actually happening. And again, all of these videos are incredible to watch. I highly suggest you check all of these videos out. They break everything down. You know, this, if this isn't on everyone's radar right now, guess what? You are failing to see what is happening. Everything that we have watched come true in the past, we'll say year, around CBDCs, around crypto, around DLTs. It is all centered on the end goal. All right? And that's CBDCs, digital ID, and this full-on digitized move around our financial system. We do see over here from James Melville, digital ID is being sold for our safety, convenience, and security. In reality, it's a giant con trick to hoodwink and sleepwalk people into surveillance, government control, and loss of freedoms and human dignity. Everyone needs to wake up to this before it's too late. Now, I will say this, okay? When we first heard about digital IDs, I instantly did I did a little bit of a research, sort of going down the rabbit hole sort of journey. And I was looking at so much information on this. This is something that has been happening for so long. A lot of people think that COVID is what boosts this. No, COVID really was a huge excuse for them to really push for this system. And now it's happening. And I also seen this as well. And this was very interesting. So we do see World Bank Group under the guise of inclusivity and equality. Every baby born will be issued with digital ID, DNA, and biometrics stored for profit by corporations or corporates and governments. You will trade freedom for convenience. They are banking on it. Can you see it yet? And here you guys have it. This is from the World Bank. Unique digital identity from birth and for a lifetime. Civil registration is the foundation for digital identification systems. We do see over here, creation of digital ID. It's critical that national ID numbers are issued from at time of birth registration. They already broke this fully down. And then on the last page here, here's from the World Economic Forum. Recently, we just broke down from the World Economic Forum that when we looked at what they wanted to do with digitization, specifically the fourth industrial revolution, it wasn't just centered around physical and digital. It was centered on biometrical as well. And here we have from the World Bank Group. It's a vital source of financial and technical assistance to developing countries around the world. It is not a bank in the ordinary sense, but a unique partnership to reduce poverty and support development. The World Bank Group comprises 5 institutions managed by their member countries. Established in 1944, the World Bank Group is headquartered in Washington, D.C. It has more than 10,000 employees in more than 120 offices worldwide. This is happening. This is happening. And it's all centered on what we have been watching. It's one massive big show. FTX collapse, Luna collapse. All of this is just to push for CBDCs and digital ID. This is a big concern. This is a big problem. And it's not a conspiracy. It is not a conspiracy because it's already happening overseas, and it's been going on for a while. A lot of other major nations are already sort of getting excited about this possible innovation around digital IDs and CBDCs. It is scary. It is extremely scary. It's terrifying. And I think anyone out there that is watching, listening, and paying attention, make sure that you are aware of what is happening and make sure that you tell everyone else and warn them of what is happening. Most of them won't even believe you. I've tried to explain this to many people, and they just look at me like I'm crazy. And it's crazy because we are already starting to see this shift into motion, and it's happening extremely fast. It's already happening, and it's terrifying. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. Us, all have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys are on this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.